just trying to meet deadlines and live up to expectations.
To have certain wants, desires, and not being able to obtain those.
For example, if I fail a test, I then, in my mind, see myself not getting into medical school, which is just pretty
to get sleep at night. It's harder for us to find time in our schedules to exercise and take care of ourselves. We tend to eat higher fat, higher carb kinds of foods. A lot of people have, muscle tension, and that can obviously translate into.
We've all known by now that stress is just part of our life. As true as it may be, not all stress is created equal. Slamming on your brakes when a child suddenly runs out into the street in one kind of stress, which is healthy and helpful. Having a population from a never-ending to-do list is another kind of stress entirely. Many people be unaware how to identify stress, but experts have categorized it in a few groups. The first one is psychological signs, which is you will feel difficulty of concentrating, worrying, anxiety, and trouble of remembering. The next one is emotional signs. The emotional signs is you might feel angry, irritated, moody, or frustrated. The third one is physical signs, such as you will get high blood pressure, changes in weight, frequent cold or infections, and changes in menstrual cycles and libido. Lastly is behavioral signs, such as poor self-esteem, poor self-care, not having time for the things that you enjoy, or relying on drugs and alcohol to cope. If you are feeling stressed, it can be helpful to know which type of stress you are dealing with. Stress is not always easy to recognize, but there are always some ways that we can identify the signs that you might be experiencing too much pressure. Sometimes stress can come from an obvious source, but sometimes even small daily stress from work, school, families, and friends can take a toll on your mind and body. Stress also can be defined as any type of changes that cause physical, emotional, and psychological strain. Stress is your body's response to anything that requires attention and action. We all have experienced stress at some degrees. Everyone has. The way you respond to stress, however, makes a big difference to your overall well-being. There are different things in life that can cause to stress. Some of the main source of stress includes work, finance, relationship, parenting, and day-to-day inconvenience. Stress can trigger the body response to perceive threat or danger, known as the fight or flight response. Stress can also lead people to some unhealthy habits that can have a negative impact on your health. For example, many people cope with stress by eating sweets or by smoking. These unhealthy habits damage the body and create bigger problems in the long term, not short term but long term. There are 4 types of stress. The first type is acute stress. Acute stress is a very short-term form of stress that may be either optimistic or more distressing. In this type of stress that we are most likely to face in our daily life, the solution of acute stress is complementary and alternative medicine. These are alternative treatments that can help relieve tension, include acupuncture, aromatherapy, massage, yoga, and meditation. Second type of stress is chronic stress. Chronic stress is a stress that makes you feel that never inescapable, such as the stress of a bad marriage or an excessively burdensome job. Other than that, chronic stress may also be triggered by stressful events or your childhood trauma. The alternative of this stress is trying to understand the signs and the symptoms, try to speak to your family or your friends. Next is identifying triggers. Improve sleep quality and exercise regularly. It may help you. Thirdly is episodic acute stress. Episodic acute stress is acute stress that appears to run rampant and to be a way of life, generating a life of constant pain. Treatment for this stress is possible through dietary change and clinical assistance. But many people with this sort of depression don't see anything wrong with their life, so they do not see the need. They need to find a help. Lastly, eustress. This stress is both enjoyable and entertaining stress. This is regarded as a productive form of stress that will keep you energized. The symptoms with dopamine spikes, such as when you skiing or running to reach the deadline. People with this kind of stress should learn something new every day, whether it's big or small. Other than that, people who are having this stress should push themselves outside of their comfort zone. Feeling stressed out of a relationship, money, or your living situation can create physical health issue. The inverse is also true. Health problem, whether you are dealing with high blood pressure or you have diabetes, will also affect your stress level and your mental health. When your brain experiences high degrees of stress, your body reacts accordingly. Serious acute stress, like being involved in a natural disaster or getting into a verbal altercation, can trigger heart attack and even sudden death. Stress also takes emotional role. While some stress may produce feelings and mild anxiety or frustration, prolonged stress can also lead to anxiety disorder and depression. Chronic stress can have a serious impact on your health as well. If you experience chronic stress, you automatically have nervous system. Your nervous system will be overactive, which is likely to damage your body. I hope everyone will get to identify your stress and cure it before anything bad happen to you. Stress is something that you can take care of. Don't be too stressed. Don't be too stressed with your life. We only live once.